All right, good morning. Welcome back. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out here today. It is like mid to late March, spring, gonna be in the 70s today. Water temp 62 right now in the morning. We're gonna look for pre-spawn bass, up shallow most likely. And the second part of the day, after we hopefully put a few bass into the kayak, I'm gonna go throw some float rigs out with some live bait and look for crappie and or catfish so we can put some meat in the cooler. First things first, let's go see if we can find a couple of largies. Thanks for coming. All right, we're in a creek here. Main lake's way out that way. This whole area back here is a big creek that feeds into it. And right now we're gonna go into a cove off of the creek. Some shallow water in here. See if we can find some bass lurking around in the shallow water. All right, so we got chatterbait on one rod and a paddletail minnow on the other. Those are the two main things I think I'm gonna be casting for bass here. Let's start out with the chatterbait. Water's kind of dirty. There's, you know, a foot or so of visibility, but let's see who wants to bite this. Throwing this paddle tail on a 3/16 ounce jig head. Mostly fishing anywhere between like 2 and 10 feet of water. First fish. Little guy, he was right on the wall. Small one, but first fish. All right, for a second there I was worried I wasn't fishing, that I was fishing too shallow because it was kind of cold last night. So I thought like, oh, well, maybe this morning they'll be a little bit deeper to start out. But that fish was right on that wall in like a foot of water. Doesn't mean every fish is gonna do that, but I think I don't have to worry about fishing too shallow. Another little guy. Oh, that's okay. He was a small fish. Got him on the minnow. Yum money minnow. 3.5 inch. There had to be a fish in here, man. This is a Z-Man chatterbait elite. It's a 3/8 ounce, and we got the Z-Man Chatter Shad trailer on there, white and chartreuse. Yes. Good one. Stay down. Okay. On the money minnow. This is where he was. See that little, oh, it's a group of rocks, not just one rock, but he was sitting kind of right to the right of these rocks here on the seawall. Throw the chatterbait way back in this little pocket. See if there's anything way back there in the sticks. This is the same house earlier that was bumping Tom Petty. They're still at it. That was like the kind of spot you find them, like the entrance and exit. Oh, we got one, we got one. On the chatterbait. I'll just lift him. I'll finish my thought in a moment. All right, chatterbait bass. A little better than those first two, but not as good as the last one. I was saying that fish sometimes will do something like that, like hang out at the entrance and exit point to get in and out of a certain zone, kind of keep an eye on whatever's coming in and out, make decisions about if it's something he wants to try to eat or not, but they'll kind of function as like gatekeepers like that. Let's see if we can find one along these rocks here. There we go. All right. Decent one. Chatterbait bass. He's hooked really well. Jet skis already, man. That's like the fourth one. Oh, that's not a jet ski, is it? That's just a little boat. Never mind. But I have seen like 3 jet skis. All right, I'm gonna make some casts along the road here. There's a lot of big rocks along the road here. There's a big bridge over there. The boat ramp's just on the other side of this. And so people launch their boats here. They go under the bridge. They're heading out that way, but they all stop and cast along these rocks, you know, because it's a fishy spot. Most of them are bass fishing, like I'm doing now, but I'm often not doing. And so I catch fish along these rocks a lot, but I'm usually throwing like night crawlers for like shell crackers and eating size catfish. So those fish will sit on these rocks and just ignore all the bass lures going by. And so I'll catch stuff off these rocks, you know, even when people are just pounding them with bass lures. But since I'm bass fishing today, I kind of, just because of the pressure, despite the fact that this is a good fishy spot, I'm skeptical that we're gonna pull a bass off of it. But we'll try. Same thing with the bridge. There's a lot of fish on it, but it also gets hammered with pressure. But it's a, yeah, whatever. Ooh. Good one. Ah, sick. All right. Let me get off this bridge so I can look at them. All right. That's 3 for the minnow. 3 for the minnow, 3 for the chatterbait. I think they're just biting whatever. get going. He spit up a artificial worm here. All right, so we did get one on the rocks and the bridge. Kind of didn't think we would, but like I was talking about, because of the pressure. But there's also a lot of fish that hang out on this rocks and all this structure. Man, it's getting warm. Got some ice in there too. I think I'm gonna keep throwing bass lures around, or you know, lures to try to catch a bass for like a little bit longer, but then we'll switch to putting out some bait. Money minnow is fairly durable also. Caught several fish on it and it's still doing just fine. Let's see, we're off like a little mini point. I think that's basically what I'm gonna do. You know, mouths of coves or off of little points. That's where we're gonna throw bait. So, on the little bit heavier rig here, it's not very heavy, but it's heavier than the other one. We're gonna put a bit bigger shiner, hook them through the lips here. There he is. We got two sizes of shiners in here. You can see them both right there. The bigger ones I'm gonna fish closer to the bottom. We're hoping a catfish finds those. And the smaller ones I'm gonna suspend about 6 feet down. And we're looking for crappie on these. What was that? Some bait busting right there. Why was it busting? Something chasing it? Throw the minnow. Could be open water bass too, you know, but more likely if we catch a fish casting a lure out here, it's going to be a striper or a hybrid. Hey, that might be my cat. There's a decent chance of that too. So I'll cast open water. I'm not going to throw the chatterbait. Just gonna throw the minnow. Lots of little fish going by 10-12 feet down. I think some of them might be crappie. I think we need to lower, you know, let this float go down, let this bait go down deeper, the one that we've got on the, yeah, I've only got this like, oh, there we go. What'd we get? Blue cat. Not a real big one, but he'll work, I guess. I might try for a bigger one. I don't know. Let me think about it. Let's check him out. Blue catfish. I don't know, pound or two. Let's let him go. We got more time. I bet we'll catch another catfish. Be nice if we could get like a 4-pounder. All right, I'm gonna make kind of a long run here. I hope it pays off. It's probably gonna take like 10 minutes to go each way, which is gonna eat up 20 minutes of my last hour here. So I really hope that there's fish where I'm going. And there's a point that comes out, like way out into the creek, right at the kind of area where the creek starts to narrow, going into the like far back of the creek. So it could be a place where a lot of fish are gonna swim through, and hopefully it is. So I'm on my way there, and we'll put bait out there and see what happens. There we go. There goes the float. We got something. It ain't big. Another little blue cat. See, between this one and the other one, I would have been set. This one's even a little bit smaller than that other one. And I threw him back because he was too small. They're just about the same size, I'd say, actually. That other one might have been a tad bigger, but pretty comparable, really. Blue catfish, little shark. Baby shark, do. All right, we need one more. Just one more. Should have kept the first one. Throw the money minnow a little bit. The wind backed off, so we're not really drifting too hard, so I can cast a little bit. Don't have to keep my hands on the paddle. All right, I'm headed back to the boat ramp where I'm gonna throw out another bait and hope we can get one more catfish real quick before I gotta leave. There's a chance we could get another catfish and make this, trip a full success where we walk away with a meal, a complete dinner for the family. Those 2 catfish would have done it, but we only have one. I threw the first one back, which was a mistake. I was overconfident, thought we were gonna catch more of them easily. Definitely a like bird in the hand type situation. It's not the end of the world either. I am gonna end up leaving here with some extra minnows, put the minnow bucket in the fridge overnight, leave the aerator running. Maybe we'll get back out tomorrow, if only from the bank. Main thing was to get out here and catch some bass, which I did, and I'm happy about it. Leave a comment, thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.